Hi, girls. Hi. Hi. Hello. One more of you. You're laying an egg? Hello. I'm preparing to start today's dinner. I know it's really early. It's just about noon. Where's the clock? There it is. But I'm gonna go warm up my lunch, which is leftovers from last night. And it dawned on me that I think I might have confused people. The dinner that I made last night for Meatless Monday, I probably should have called it better. It's not, hold on, let me show you. The cauliflower fettuccine Alfredo, it's actually fettuccine cauliflower Alfredo because it's the sauce that's cauliflower, not the pasta. I know a lot of people are looking for alternatives to actual pasta, and I've yet to find one that is tasty and satisfying, you know, to the tooth feel. So this was just regular fettuccine that I just made the sauce out of cauliflower. So the bulk of it is cauliflower rather than cream and butter and flour and all that. So it was quite tasty. That's on my, there it is right there. That's actually what I'm going to have for lunch as leftovers. And then I will start prepping tonight's meal, which is chicken chili. And I have turkey stock on hand, which I'm going to use. The chicken breasts, which I will saute, and I think I'm going to do it in the oven, probably like on 250, maybe 300 degrees. I have green chilies, different kinds of peppers, so yeah, I'll see what I have. Paulie was going to prep for me yesterday, but he went to take a nap and really enjoyed his nap, so I'm going to be my own sous chef today, which is okay. It's time to make dinner, so I am heating up the Larissa Dutch oven, nice heavy bottom pot. I'm going to saute the chicken, but first I prepped all the vegetables. I wanted to use one knife instead of multiple or even washing in between, so I did the veggies first so there's no cross-contamination, and then I'm going to do the chicken with the same knife and then just wash it. So I have celery, onions, fine chopped garlic, 2 different kinds of peppers, 3, and finely chopped one really plump jalapeno, and I kept that really small. And then I'm gonna get my spices ready and get the chicken seared. I'm gonna cut it into kind of a bite-sized piece, sear it off in the pan, and then take it out, and in the bottom of the same pan that's heating up right now, saute the vegetables, then add the chicken back. Oh, I found a yucky piece. Then add the chicken back, and then get all my canned items rinsed and drained and rinsed. And the thing that I'm adding that's a little trick is I'm recycling our Chinese white rice into this kind of a white chicken chili. I'm using grapeseed oil, which is flavor neutral and has a high cooking point. I'm doing the chicken in 2 batches, and I do use a separate cutting board that's for protein, for fish and meat and chicken. And I'm doing it in 2 batches. So this is sauteing nicely. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way through. I just want to get some color on the outside and sear it, and then I'm just going to put it off on a plate behind the pot and then do the rest of it. Chicken's out, and in go the veggies. Just until they start to get tender. Veggies look thoroughly sweated. I'm going to add the chicken back and all the juices, and then drain and rinse pinto beans. And now I'm going to add a couple of ladles of my turkey stuff. Hey, Mose. Is it time to add the spices? Yeah, it's time to add the spices. So I know it looks like soup right now, but I am going to add spices first and then that container of rice. So it's going to be a really hearty, funky stew. I mean, chili, because chili is what? Stew with spices. So what I thought was green chilies in a can was actually pickled chilies, pickled jalapenos. So I put in half of one because I tasted it before I chopped the rest of them, and it's spicy and I don't need this to be so over the top that you can't enjoy it. Heat is nice, but when it's to a point where you can't taste anything else because your taste buds are, you know, shocked into submission, it's no longer enjoyable, at least not on a regular basis. So let me go grab some spices and I'll show you what I add. Tablespoon of chili powder. Next is some ground cumin, which adds a warmth instead of heat. And then I'm gonna maybe just a dash of ground coriander, and I'm just gonna use that out of the shaker top, and then I'm gonna mix it and taste. I'm a big believer in tasting stuff. It has a really nice scent. Flavors are really nice, and they're gonna start to develop as it simmers. I'm gonna leave it simmering once I add the rice, probably on low for about 45 minutes, and I will check it and then check the flavors again to see if I need to add anything else. So in goes the rice. So the rice has been added. Now you see why there was so much liquid needed, and I'm gonna let it simmer on low with the lid on, and I will check in about half an hour and check the flavors, make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. I put a nice dent into my homemade turkey stock. So nothing goes to waste in this house, or at least I try not to let anything go to waste. It's one of those things that I think were born out of, wow, my grandmother, who today is actually the anniversary of her death. It just totally dawned on me. January 13th, 1978 is when she passed away. And I remember how lovingly she used up every morsel of food because we had so little. She would boil a chicken. The chicken meat would be saved for me. She would make stock, and then she would make matzo ball soup, and she would take the skin off the chicken prior to boiling it and stuff it with, oh, I don't even remember what it's called. I'll have to ask my mom. It was stuffed with all sorts of things. I mean, really made things stretch. So I have a really hard time throwing food out. Like, I know a lot of people toss that white rice container from Chinese food because they just give it to you automatically unless you ask for brown rice or ask not to be given it, but we forgot to ask, so I thought I would utilize it in this. So I'm gonna turn this down to probably 3 on my electric stove, so low simmer, because I don't want the rice to stick, and lid it and then check in about half an hour and I will show you the progress. But it smells so good in here. What a lovely way to tribute my grandmother today, completely by circumstance. You know, the more I look at this, that's a giant pot of chili. There's no way we're going to be able to eat that all. So I think what I'm going to do is package some of this up in individual portions and put it in some of those small black plastic containers that I've been saving from Chinese restaurant from our takeout, and pop that in the freezer so then I can thaw it out for lunch or a quick meal along with a side salad for a lazy dinner on nights when neither one of us feels like cooking. So I'll make it do double duty, put some of it away in the freezer. I think it's all done. I've turned it off. It simmered for about 45 minutes. And you know, I think this is really more like a hybrid between chili and jambalaya because it does have the rice in it. Ooh, hot. But the flavor is nice. There's a nice heat. It goes away pretty quickly. It doesn't linger. It doesn't burn. But it's definitely flavorful. So, hey, I repurposed the rice. Used up a lot of my turkey stock. And now we have meals for tonight. And individual meals, probably 3 or 4 more meals after that. So, that's good. And not a lot of work went into it. So, not too shabby. So I think I'm gonna eat without Polly because he won't be home for a while, but it'll be nice and hot for him on top of the stove. So I think I'm going to call it a night. That's it for me for today. Thank you for so much for stopping by and watching. And I do have a question. So today's question is, of all the food that you love, like something that you absolutely adore, do you wish that there was one that would be either lower in calories, lower in fat, or lower in sodium? Like, I want a challenge. I want to see if I could figure out a way to make something tasty but better, like better for you. Like, this has a lot of vegetables. I didn't use a lot of salt. Has a lot of flavor. The protein in here is extremely lean, skinless chicken breast. So that's, you know, much better than even the dark meat, although I prefer dark meat for flavor. And I probably could have gone with brown rice instead of white rice, but I had the white rice on hand. So, and my homemade turkey stock, I know exactly what went into that, and that was low sodium as well. And lots of veggies. So it is good stuff in here. So what would you love to have reinterpreted that it's better for you out of your faves? And if you say German chocolate cake, I'm going to be stumped because I don't know of a way. So that's it for me for today. Don't forget to thumbs up. It's free for you and helps me out. And as you can see, I lost my thumbnail because it's cracked. And I will see you all tomorrow.